of you who are not familiar with me, I am Kareem French. I currently serve as the Assistant District Rotaract Representative and immediate past president of the Rotaract Club of Barbados. And in true Rotaract style, we will begin today's meeting with the four-way test. I'll call on the Director of Club Service from the Rotaract Club of South Barbados, Miss Leanne Clark, to lead us all in the four-way test.
Good morning to everyone. I'm going to invite you guys to unmute your mics. Let me apologize for my lack of video. I'm actually mobile at the moment. But I want to call you guys to unmute your mics so that we can all repeat the four-way test together. Of the things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair to concern? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you guys so much.
Right. Thank you, Director Leanne. So again, welcome everybody to our very first joint initiative for this year. I'd like to give a special recognition to our guests and visitors today. They'll get their own individual introductions afterwards. But of course, thank you to AG Debbie and New Generations Exchange Chair, to Marla Cruz for coming today to share their insights about these two topics and all the Rotary opportunities out there for us. It's a fitting theme because, again, this year's RI theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities. Okay. I'll now invite the presidents to do introductions of their board members or any special invited guests from their Rotary Sponsor Club here on the call today. So I'll begin with President Rashida from the Rotaract Club of Barbados.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rashida Prescott. I'm the president of the Rotaract Club of Barbados, as Kareem indicated. On the call, I just want to acknowledge our president-elect, Scott. I want to acknowledge Director of Professional Development, Jamar Mears, our Secretary, Shante, and our Director of PR, Mr. Mario Murray. I also want to extend apologies for our ADRR, Zaire Jackson. He indicated that he will not be able to attend this morning. I also want to acknowledge Rotarian Anton Nichols from our sponsor club, the Rotary Club of Barbados.
All right, thank you, President Rashida. Up next, President Dana Walcott of the Rotaract Club of South Barbados. Introductions and apologies on your end.
Sorry, it wasn't unmuted. Hi, good morning, everyone. Obviously, welcome to this joint session. I hope that it is the first of many. On the call, currently so far, I'd just like to welcome the Secretary Gabrielle Whitehall, Director of Club Service, Leanne, who will have led the four-way test, our Interact Liaison Officer, Rashina Homer. I don't have any apologies at this time. Also on our district, our disaster preparedness officer, Ayana Evelyn. I don't have any apologies at this time. I will assume that my other board members are just starting.
All right, thank you. Do we have the president of the Rotaract Club of Barbados West on the call here? Or any other representative? Sorry, guys, for Instagram. Okay, so Wes is not here as yet.
Morning, Kareem. Wes is very much here.
See, I'm so sorry, President Elia. Introductions and apologies on your end.
Morning, everyone. It's indeed a pleasure to be here this morning. Pardon the chicken. Yeah, so my name is Aaliyah Reed, the president of the Rotaract Club of Barbados West. And on the call this morning, I have my very capable Vice President, Aaliyah Bowen, my Gashly and Order coming down, my secretary, Ms. Destiny Eastman, my treasurer, Ms. Kiba Bowen, and so far, the last person I see is Ms. Shanae Holder, my director of fundraising. No apologies here, but just pleasure.
All right.
A
Thank
warm
you.
good morning. Morning, everyone.
Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, any representation from the UB Club here? I see no one. But I also like to take this opportunity to recognize.
Oh my God, Sophia's here.
Oh, hi, IPP Sophia. Thanks for joining us today. And on the call as well, I see DRRK Van. I'm not sure if his mic is on as yet, but I guess later down in the agenda, he can give us a few brief remarks. All right. So how today's session is going to work, we'll have two presentations done. One on Rotary Exchange programs and the second one on Peace scholarships. It'll be followed by a Q&A. I ask that if you have any sort of questions during the presentations, please drop them in the chat and we will then moderate afterwards. Subsequently, we're gonna hear from all four clubs in Barbados about their upcoming events in October. All right, and then as usual, we'll end off with a group photo and some fellowship after the meeting. So without further ado, we'll begin with our first presenter, Tamara Cruz, who is a Paul Harris Fellow Plus One and has been a member of the Rotary Club of Curacao since 2010. And she has worn many hats, including District Riley Chair, Community Service Director, and District 4370 Conference Chair. She is currently serving her second term as District 7030 NGSE Chair and was responsible for setting up the Student Exchange Program for the Rotary Club of Curacao when Curacao was a member of District 4370. Professionally, she holds the title of economist and owner of Markstra Caribbean. Tamara provides technical assistance for economic development for Caribbean countries on behalf of the European Union and Inter-American Development Bank. Further, she's very involved in the business community. She serves as a board member of the Curacao Association for Business Sustainability, a past member of the Curacao Chamber of Commerce, and a past president of Curaçao's network of women professionals. Tamara is an avid traveler and visited almost all the islands in the Caribbean on a sailing boat, for work or conference, or just to reunite with family. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming our very first presenter, Miss Tamara Cruz, who will be speaking to us on Rotary Exchange programs. I think you're muted. You can unmute and start sharing your screen.
Also, yeah, thank you very much. Let's try the screen sharing. For that introduction, Kareem, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak about exchange programs and in a way to creating global citizens of the Caribbean, young people and young professionals, but also younger people. It's not shared yet, no? Now it is. Okay. So there are several exchange programs in Rotary. There's one that many people know. It's the Youth Exchange. That's for students 16 to 19, high school students. And then there is the New Generation Services Exchange. That is for Rotarians, Rotaractors, and non-Rotaractors. So other people can also join for people aged 18 to 30. It is a relatively new program in our district in 7030. I think we did a first exchange, and I think it was under 7030. Yes, it was last year. So what is it? The NGSE, a mouthful, is a short-term customizable program for university students and professionals age 18 to 30. Short-term, you can customize it the way you want. You can go whenever you want. Participants can design exchanges that combine their professional goals with a humanitarian project. So maybe you're an accountant and you want to work, for instance, with you want to work in a hospital or see how hospitals or any other environmental organization, etc. The duration is between 2 weeks and 6 months. You can choose. We do realize that you are all working people. So some of the people don't stay, we had one person go for 12 days because he was on a mission for his employer. Both Rotary family and others can go, as I said. It need not be reciprocal, but it's preferred. So reciprocal means that you go, stay in someone's house, and someone comes and stay with you. That is not necessary, but we do prefer that because in that way we assure that we have enough host homes and abilities to exchange. Just to tell you a story about the exchanges that we did last year. The gentleman to your left is Gideon. He is from Curacao. He went to Brazil in the Sao Paulo area. He works for the Curacao Hospitality and Tour Association, the private sector tourism association. So they sent him. He got a scholarship from his employer to go and get a little bit familiar with the market of Brazil, which is a market Curacao was interested in, and to polish his Portuguese. He already spoke Portuguese, and that's why he had a chance to speak at the Rotary Conference, District 4310. That was maybe 2 years ago. Seja a inspiração, be the inspiration. Gideon was not a Rotaractor, not in the Rotary family. And he had done many exchanges before. He speaks many languages and he had a good time. Oh, and when he was there, obviously they picked him up. He did some sort of volunteer projects, some community service projects. He also went to see travel agents there. Of course, he hung out with all the Rotary family there. When you go to Brazil, they make you make a presentation on all the clubs. So we've had students go to Brazil before, and in a 5-week span, they must give presentations at least 10, 15 clubs. But that's the whole idea. Then in exchange, we got back Carol and Deborah. They are Rotaractors like you are. Carol is the training director for Rotaract Brazil. Rotaract Brazil has 8,000 Rotaractors. Deborah is her friend who is the secretary of another Rotaract club. I must say both Gideon and these girls were 28. These ladies were 28. They came to Curacao for 3 weeks. One of the things they wanted to do is go to the beach and have fun, which they did. They also met all the Rotaractors in Curacao. They did some projects with them together. One of the things that they wanted to do, because our Rotaract club is relatively young, is to exchange ideas, how they do it, etc. Carol is a lawyer and has been an had been an interactor. So they went to the courts. They had got a sort of a guide around the courthouse, and then they met a Rotarian who's also a lawyer, and she explained a little bit about how our court system works. Obviously, the ladies, they speak English, but our court is not in English, so they could not attend the session. Deborah is a veterinarian, but she works for a big pharmaceutical company. So the Rotaract Club of Curacao is very much into animals and pets. So they had lots of exchanges about that. So that's the way it functioned. Oh, they stayed with a Rotarian who happens to be a lawyer. They stayed with a Rotarian in their own apartment. They had, at her house, but she has an apartment. They rented a car themselves. Gideon stayed at the home from a Rotary family, and he didn't have a car. And that was very much of a family-oriented thing, which is the case, which is always the case in Brazil. They invite all their extended family to come and have barbecues and this and that. So that's a little bit of the 2 exchanges that we had. So where can you go? In principle, you can go anywhere where there is a Rotary Club, because the Rotary Club will sponsor you or make arrangements, and I'll talk about that. You must keep in mind the timing a little bit, because like Gideon went in May, but then his employer said it would be easier to go in July, because in July things are slower in Curacao, so he could miss an employee for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So that you should keep that in mind. Also, if you're going to Australia or even Brazil, it is the opposite way, because they're on the southern hemisphere. As I said, summers are better because it's low season. And remember, when you're choosing, this is not, you can get a scholarship, but it's not a paid thing. So you must pay your ticket yourself, or your employer must pay the ticket, and there's a few other expenses, but I'll explain that. So if you choose to go to Australia, remember that someone will have to pay that ticket, or you'll have to fundraise for it. What areas can you go? Actually, any of the Rotary service areas, is, including the new one, environment, that would be very helpful. Now post-COVID, sustainability, climate action. So it would be for us very interesting if you were to go into one of those areas. But also other countries' common challenges and opportunities, public financing, other government related stuff, food security, the blue economy, which is interesting for our countries, orange economy, culture, creativity, arts, etc., tourism, the financial sector, because all of our countries have that. And one of the things that is new now, because of also because of COVID, and some of your countries, Barbados especially, has launched the Nomad program. So you can also see it as a little bit as that. A Nomad business link, which is if you are a small business entrepreneur, or you're trying to start up, you're trying to explore other markets, you can go and stay with someone and do your research if you'd like that. So use it in many ways. Again, if you're a student, some of the countries will provide you, will allow you to follow a course at the school, like Brazil would. They would allow you to follow a semester if you'd like. So use it for education, for practice, for business, anything. So I mentioned the new service areas. I am passionate also about, as I said, climate action in the region, sustainability in the region. We are at the difficult place. Here you have a disaster risk management group. So we can exchange among us to see what the common challenges are. Right now, we are not able to travel, but perhaps we can, and we haven't thought about this yet. How can we establish digital exchanges so that we can still share some of the challenge or solutions to the challenges that we see? So maybe that's something that your clubs can think about. How can we all exchange opportunities digitally? So what's the cost? And then you can still come later, we can still do a physical exchange later. The host family typically provides free room and board. That is the condition. Family provides free room and board. The participant pays his or her own ticket. Medical certificates and insurance, you have to go to the doctor and get some certificates, an administration fee for the district, and some pocket money. You need your pocket money because sometimes, like the ladies who came to Curacao, they went to a little island, a Klein Curacao, small Curacao. So they wanted to do some extraordinary things, and that is not included in the package. So you have to come with your own. You can get a scholarship, as I said. Your employer can pay if you can convince them that what you're doing will benefit the business. A Rotary Club can pay. A Rotaract Club can pay also. You can also find a business support organization, like a tourism association or a chamber of commerce or a small business association or some sort of environmental association. Oh, I mentioned those two, so they are in there. So you can find scholarships, make your case. We're able and willing to help you make that case because it is necessary. What is expected? This is a place that we expect you to take the initiative. You take the lead, select the country you want to go to and what you want to do there. You should contact a Rotary Club in your country to sponsor you, to nominate you. Fill in the form. I just shared it on the Rotary District 7030 events page on Facebook. It's the link is there to fill it in, and you can share it on the Rotaract page. Once you're there, of course, be a good ambassador for your country and for the district. There are 4 or 5 in the exchange programs: no drugs, no dating, no drinking, and no driving. I'm not sure if you're over 18 that's going to work, but we didn't know. I didn't ask. Make present, but no drugs. Make present, even in Curacao, no drugs. Make presentations at Rotary clubs in your host country when you are in whatever country you are at, and make presentations. I must say, we got some petitions from Brazil, many petitions. They really don't want to come to the Caribbean all the time. We are our top destination for them. Also from Holland. And also in India has an exchange program that's not a physical exchange now, but you can follow a digital exchange and do yoga and all the thing, and learn cooking, learn Indian cuisine and other things that are typically Indian. So you get a little bit of the Indian experience. So when you come back and make a presentation of what you learned for all the Rotary clubs in your area and the Rotaract clubs, of course, and perhaps the Interact clubs also, that would be very good. So what is the sponsoring club? What do you expect from you, the sponsoring club? And it can be a Rotaract club. Encourage applicants, interview the candidates, seek hope families, interview host families at their homes. I want to say this, all the Rotary exchanges include that Rotarians or Rotaractors go to the host family and visit and interview anyone at their homes. So when people come, we know where they're going to stay. We've seen the place. So we know the family, so you are safe. We also provided counselor. So if not the NGSC committee, but someone else, like in Curacao, we have a psychologist who is a counselor, so that if something is going wrong, they can contact that person. Develop a program that is a little bit difficult sometimes, especially if the languages are different, because if they're 3 weeks and they need to be doing something, and they cannot go to the beach all the 3 weeks. So there must be some sort of a program. They can spend weeks at, for instance, the pharmacist, the hospital. They can spend weeks at a zoo, for instance, that's it. Maybe at the waste management company, that's it. So something like that. Do the admin, of course, their paperwork, and provide fellowship. Once they are, Rotary family always, and Rotaract family always provides a lot of fellowship. Some of the Rotarians took them to party, etc., etc. They went boating. So those are the things that we do. Hiking. The host family provides room and board, share about the host country, learn about the participant's country and customs, and allow them time with the Rotary. So we have committee members, which is your very own Rashida is also on the committee. And then we have Albert Daniels from the Rotary Club of St. Lucia and Paula Janssen also from the Rotary Club of Curacao. So I think there is an email address. Yes, there is my email address at the end. If you want to explore it, of course, we're not able to travel, but many countries are opening. They hope to be opening in January. And if not, it takes some time for you to prepare, because you want to choose the country, see what you're going to do there, try to establish some sort of a contact, save some money, find a sponsorship. So, it will take some time. So take some 6 months to prepare. And so maybe by the summer, we can be traveling again. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamara, for that very short presentation. Agreed. I don't see any questions in the chat, but I see just general comments saying that folks saying that they're perfect for it. And they were, questioning the no dating rule. And they said at least dancing isn't outlawed. So that's a good thing. So thank you so much for your presentation. I'll open the floor to any questions that anybody may have. All right, so I see a question from IPP Safir. Can you go on what we do in the health sector? I would like you to elaborate on our question. Sophia, if you can unmute your mic and elaborate, please.
Hello, my mic isn't working properly, but I hope you can hear me. I saw in the slides when you had listed the different categories and areas which Rotary contributes in, and I saw the health sector was one of them, especially with diabetes and chronic illnesses. So I was wondering if as a medical student, how can we take part in such initiatives with Rotary?
Yeah. Yeah, great question. Absolutely, diabetes, it's something in our district. So things that you could do is you can intern with like a general practitioner and see how much diabetes there is in the countries because it's very high. Um, we have, it just so happens that one of the a general practitioner in Curacao, maybe she's even a specialist, just wrote a book for children with diabetes. So, you know, you can hang out with her or find something, okay, maybe we should use it for other clubs also in the district. Those types of things. It's something that you should be thinking of. You know, what if I am a medical student, I'm interested in diabetes, what could I do in other countries? Maybe your country has something very interesting. You can come and share it in the other country. Also digitally, it's possible. Things like that.
So what if, for instance, like here in Barbados, they're trying to stop sugary drinks in institutions because sugary drinks impact like diabetes in children, which is a rising factor here in Barbados. So I was wondering, how long is the duration of this program? Like,
Mhm.
how long does it go on that we can work on it?
Yeah, you can stay between 2 weeks and 6 months. Again, this was the idea when it was a physical exchange. But now that you're mentioning it, you know, you can start now and establish the contact with maybe a medical student in another country and exchange what are you guys doing. Maybe you're writing a thesis or a project on it, so you can have this exchange go on forever and longer than 6 months. It's I don't know if you guys are at the time of pen pals. When we were younger, there was pen pals that you would write people, so you could do that digitally now and in a little bit more sort of a video and a lively active way. You can have children from another country listen to your presentation about diabetes, your awareness program, anything like that.
For the
So the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned.
yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
All right, thank you, IPP Sophie, for that question. Any more questions from the general audience? Okay, I take that as a no. Thank you to Mary for that presentation. Of course, we do another vote of thanks afterwards, but we'll just jump right into our second presentation. Give me a second. Let me share my screen. Right. So second presentation will be on Peace Scholarships, and it will be done by Rotarian Debbie Rookchad, who's a member of the Rotary Club Princestown, Trinidad, and a Paul Harris Society Fellow. She is currently serving her third term as Assistant Governor for the South Cluster of Clubs in Trinidad and Tobago, and a second term as the Rotary District 7030 Peace Fellowship Subcommittee Chair. She's also the chair of the District 7030 Peace Committee, the District 7030 Membership Co-Chair, and the Innovative Club Advocate for District 7030. AG Debbie is an attorney at law engaged in private practice since 2009 at the law firm of Ernest & H. Koyas & Co. and has represented clients in many areas of law in the various courts in Trinidad and Tobago. As an attorney at law, Debbie is registered as an attorney on the Legal Aid Panel, and apart from that, gives generously of her time on a pro bono basis for clients who are unable to afford such service, whether through legal aid clinics at Rotary outreach projects or otherwise in the course of her practice. She's known for wearing her Rotary Peace pin. She's still wearing it even today as a part of her work wear. She has been a Rotarian since November 2011, served as a club president during the Rotary year 2016 to 2017, and has served as director on the club's board of directors. Before we invite AG Debbie to speak, I just want to recognize the presence of district representatives. So I see we have DRR Van St. Bryce on the call, and IPDRR Anya Blankendal on the call. Also, we have DRRE Mario Boyce on the call. So thank you guys for joining us today. Over to you, AG Debbie.
Thank you, Kareem. Good morning, everyone. Is my screen up and showing?
Yes, please.
Okay, wonderful. So I know we are in the month of October. I know September is basic education Education and Literacy Month, I thought I would start with a quote that is close to my heart from Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. That resonates with me. I don't know if it does the same with you. My topic this morning is the Peace Fellowship scholarships, but I wanted to say just generally because I'm not sure how aware the Rotaractors are in terms of opportunities for scholarships, that the districts would normally offer scholarships so that there's the opportunity to apply for district scholarships for undergraduate programs up to 3 to 4 years to get funding. And a lot of districts engage in global grants in relation to education as well. And just to give you an idea as to how much Rotary actually invests in basic education and literacy, in the year 2014 to 2019, they would have spent a total of 60 million on that particular area of focus, and that's US. The number of grants which were applied for was 453 grants, to a total of 20.1 million. And you would see the different areas that were funded. They were for providing scholarships, empowering youth, improving human rights, and training leaders in the field. So I share those statistics so you see that there's opportunity in relation to furthering your education through Rotary. This particular slide shows with the grants with respect to peace and conflict prevention, which is where the Peace Fellowships fall under. And you would see in 2019, a total of 3.4 million US was spent on funding peace and conflict prevention. And again, a further breakdown as to different areas within peace and conflict prevention and the figures that would have spent during that period, been spent during that period of time. So if you look at this last chart, we are closest to the Americas. And again, you would see the grants, the total grants was 6.2 million in the Americas region, which is closest to us. So onto the topic itself of the Rotary Peace Fellowships. So basically, the Rotary Peace Centers, which is the center that is responsible for the Peace Fellowship program, has a vision of sustainable peace, encompassing a network of peace builders and community leaders dedicated to preventing and resolving conflicts around the globe. So that's the vision that Peace Centers has, which actually guides their programs. Now, in order to serve this vision, they have partnered with 8 leading universities to host the Rotary Peace Centers. And I'm going to go into the universities themselves very shortly. But just at the outset, since the program started, more than 1,300 alumni have graduated from the Peace Program and are working in peace and development in more than 115 countries. And this is no new program. The program has actually been in existence since 2002. In our district, although the program has been around since 2002, we have one Rotary Peace Fellow graduate, Christine Chalou of French Guiana. And I think the reason for that is because so many people are not aware that there's the opportunity to tap into this program that we do not receive applications for it. This year, the applications normally open in February and they close off by the end of May. And I got 2 applications out of a district with 17 countries and so many Rotary and Rotaract clubs. So I was so excited when you all invited me to talk. I hope that coming out of this in February 2021, I'm going to see some of the names on this chat applying to do either the master's or the undergraduate program, which I'm going to come into. So let's get into the 2 programs themselves. There's a master's degree program, and there's also the professional certificate development program. Now, if you look at the globe, you would see the universities where they are offered, and I'll call them out for you. The master's program is done through Duke University and the University of North Carolina. They do a joint program for the master's. Then you have the International Christian University all the way down in Japan. You have the University of Bradford in England, Uppsala, and sorry, Queensland, Australia, and Uppsala in Sweden. So those are the 5 universities for the master's program. And with respect to the professional development certificate program, we have the Chulalongkorn University, which is in Thailand. Christine, our graduate, she attended Chulalongkorn. And I can hint to you, we will be having a district session with Christine, where she will actually talk about her experience as a Peace Fellow, her journey, and the opportunities coming out of it. The other university for the professional certificate development program is in Makerere University in Uganda, and they recently opened. So it's an opportunity to go very far to do a wonderful program. Now, every year we select at least 130 applicants to earn either the master's degree or the professional development certificate. 50 fellows are usually assigned to the master's program and 80 to the one-year certificate program. The master's program is just like an ordinary master's, about 15 to 24 months in terms of the duration of the program itself. Now you'll ask yourself, well, what are the things I might cover in the master's program? Well, obviously there's an academic training aspect of it. The academic training at the core of your coursework, you would be looking at areas like peace and conflict resolution, with a focus on negotiation, mediation, human rights, and international development. That's the academic limb of it. Then, of course, you have the applied field experience. So there's a practical element to it. The networking opportunity coming out of the program is huge. There's a very active Peace Fellowship alumni page. And if you follow them right, you just have Peace Fellows from around the world. So when you enroll in the program, be prepared to meet people from many different countries. There's also a workshop series built into it and a final seminar where you will actually present your research. So that's just a little bit as to the components of the master's program. I'm sure you're asking yourself, well, what do I need to do in order to qualify for it? Well, you must be proficient in English. You must have a bachelor's degree, which I think most of our Rotaractors, either you are pursuing or would have completed. You must have a strong and proven commitment to cross-cultural understanding and peace. Do not be stumped by that particular requirement. Just being a Rotaractor and involved in Rotary work, a lot of the projects and activities you do will already qualify under that head. You must demonstrate leadership skills. I'm sure most of us are leaders in our jobs and even within our voluntary work. And have at least 3 years full-time experience in peace and development work. Again, don't think that you're going for that requisite. You have to be, fighting for peace in the middle of a war. No, it's nothing like that. Peace and developmental work, the way they define it, almost the six areas. Well, now we have 7 areas of focus in Rotary. Once you're engaged in projects and activities that fall within those areas, and you have found yourself engaged in that, those things qualify as peace and developmental work. Even professionally, you might ask yourself, well, does my job really fall under peace and developmental work? If you're a journalist, somebody in law enforcement, even a teacher in education, those are areas that fit the requisite for the program. This is the certificate program, which is a 1-year program. It is shorter than the master's program. And basically, you have different components of it. You would initially do part of that program online. And then there's an actual 10 weeks on-site training where you would either go off to Thailand or Uganda for the training. After the on-site studies, you come back home to your country and you actually spearhead an independent project where you would look at doing a social change initiative in your community. So you come back home and you actually do a project. And then there's a 1-week capstone seminar where you would report on the outcome of your project. The certificate candidates, again, what do you need to do in order to apply for this one-year program? Be proficient in English, have a bachelor's degree, strong and proven commitment to cross-cultural understanding and peace, demonstrate leadership skills, have at least 5 years of full-time experience in peaceful development work. And remember, I told you that's a broad definition. Be able to explain how you plan to promote how your plan to promote peace aligns with Rotary's mission. And candidates from Macquarie, because they recently opened, they have been looking at candidates from that region initially. So if you are applying for the certificate, you wouldn't really be able to go Macquarie as yet, but there is the option of the University of Thailand. The funding, the Master's Fellowship, the funding for it, I find the funding is generous. You get up to 75,000 US towards the funding for the master's program, and the certificate 11,000 US. And you would see the different things it covers: your tuition, your room and board, your travel, internship expenses, conference and research fees, insurance contingency fund. It's when I look at the funding for it, I ask myself, why aren't people applying for this? You know, as one of those areas that is just so unapplied for. Peace Fellow alumni, just to tell you, we have Peace Fellow alumni in many different places. 51% of the graduates work in government and non-government organizations. 24% of our graduates work in education, are pursuing advanced degrees or are involved in academic research. 6% of our graduates work at the United Nations. 6% work in law and law enforcement, and 13% work as journalists for the World Bank and in other professions. I share that with you so you just get an idea as to the different areas, you know, our graduates have gone into from the program to work. And this is just a few persons that have pulled out who would have gone through either the master's program or the certificate. We have Elsa Marie De Silva from India. She would have done the one-year certificate program, and she's the founder and CEO of Red Dot Foundation. If you go online, you'll see the persons that pulled out, they have some really nice videos in relation to what they do and what they have done coming out of the program. We have Charlie Allen from Australia. He would have gone to Chulalongkorn in Thailand. He is now the Director of Partnerships for the Institute for Economics and Peace. And for anybody on the call who has interest in peace, you know the IEP is one of Rotary's biggest partners on peace. And we have a lot of resources available through the IEP for those who are interested in learning more about peace building, and those are free resources. We have Mawila Chikaga from Zambia. She would have gone to Duke University as a master's program graduate, and she's now a senior regional gender specialist for the International Labour Organization in South Africa. Abdikir Ahmed from Somalia, Queensland University, a master's graduate. He is the director for Immigration Partnership in Canada. His story is amazing if you have time to actually look at that immigration program that they do. Basically, in terms of how to apply, like I mentioned, the applications open in February annually. The website is there, but I'm going to share a little postcard for both programs in the chat, which has the application information. So you apply in February, you connect with a local Rotary club within your district. Well, for Rotaract, that's really easy for you guys because most of you already have a sponsor club. And basically, the process is an online application. You have about 5 essays to write. They are very short to convince us why we should, you know, recommend you for the program. Anybody applying for this program, you have to be endorsed by your district. So it is mandatory that District 7030 interview you and endorse you as a candidate. If you're endorsed, which we do, the endorsement process is normally done at the end of May. If we endorse you as a candidate, then your application goes in, and once the university accepts you, you would start in the year following your application for the program. So I think, well, COVID-19, just to say COVID-19 hasn't stopped the program, but most of the dates have now slightly shifted for persons who would have gotten through this year in terms of the start time. So that's my presentation. I don't know if you all have any questions. Hopefully I've inspired at least some of you to read more about this program and consider applying for it in February. Thank you.
All right, thank you, AG Debbie, again for a short and sweet presentation. I've seen the Peace Fellows for years, but again, it always stopped me by the requirement for experience. Because for me, who's an audit is like, okay, I can't even apply, so let me just ignore it. I mean, I think a lot of people have done as well. So thank you for clarifying that the work that we do in Rotary and Rotaract qualifies for that. I'll open the floor to any other questions that persons may have. But again, it was very inspiring indeed. All right. Right. Very enlightening presentations. Okay. I take it that there are no questions. Okay, so did they ask, so from Director Leanne, she asks, is there an age restriction candidates?
No age restriction.
Excellent.
Yeah, I have a question, or actually a comment. Now that I listened to Debbie, I think it's the third time. The Peace Fellows is like a selection, no? They select people to go, right? Because you have to apply and you're selected. And the New Generations Exchange, it's almost the same. The only thing is everyone can go. It's not a selection because, and we do the youth exchange with other exchange program. If you wanted to go to the Peace Fellows, and for some reason you were not selected, you can still go on the New Generations and do your own sort of program. You can come back and write your own thesis or project, which is what Debbie was saying. So, and you can do your own piece online, which is also what Debbie was saying. So it's you know, they are not mutually exclusive. If you don't make the other one, if you don't make one, you don't want to make the commitment, you can still make the other one. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that comment. And for those of you who didn't see the chat, AG Debbie dropped the information about the certification program. And I'm guessing she's going to drop another one about the master's program shortly. All right. So we will open the floor to any general questions that you may have at this point before we go into the club updates.
I had a question. ATW mentioned about the other educational opportunities that Rotary offers, the scholarship, sorry. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure, I can. So in the South Cluster of Clubs Trinidad, for example, I know that all our clubs do an annual scholarship program, which is close to, usually the awards are just before September, when you would have graduates starting university or continuing with their secondary school examination. And for those clubs, we have a local application process where anybody who's interested in getting a scholarship, they apply to the club, you do your needs assessment, and we usually grant scholarships. And my year as president, I gave out scholarships of close to 70,000 in terms of the cost of scholarships, right? So a lot of local Rotary clubs, I would think, outside of Trinidad would have these scholarship opportunities. But apart from the local Rotary clubs, clubs have the opportunity to get district grants to do, this is Rotary clubs can apply for district grants to fund scholarships. So if you are interested in a scholarship, right, you should reach out to your sponsor Rotary club to find out who might be applying for grants towards funding scholarships. That's a second option. And thirdly, now I'm not sure how big the global grants are in District 7030, but you'd have seen from the statistics in Latin America, right? They go into grants on a big basis for education. And again, there's an opportunity to access grant and funding. Depending on the program you're looking at, I would say, for example, if you're looking at a university program outside of the Caribbean, reach out to the district directly through the district governor to find out if we have any clubs that are doing global grants for education, where you might be able to apply through that club to fund your studies.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, President Rashida, for that question, and AG Debbie for that lovely explanation. Any more questions? Let me just check the chat. Okay, so with no more questions being asked, I would like to call on President Rashida to issue today's vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Rotaract Clubs of Barbados, that is UE Cave Hill, South Barbados, Barbados West, and the Club of Barbados, we want to say thank you to AG Debbie and to NGSC Tamara for taking the time out this morning to give us a bit more information on the opportunities that Rotary has for us as Rotaractors and for the wider public. Thank you for the knowledge that you imparted. And I hope that, next year that we will have at least one or two persons taking advantage of these opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, President Rashida. And again, thank you to all wonderful presenters. I'm going to move on to some club updates before we adjourn today's meeting. I'll now call on a representative from the UE Cable Club just to share some light on their UE Cable week of activities scheduled for next week. IPP, Safia, are you there? I can give the update.
Good day, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So our week begins from on Sunday, and there's a multi-faith church service. We usually would do this on campus, but because there's no facilities on campus to allow us to do this due to the COVID pandemic, it's going to be through a Zoom meeting. We collectively get different persons from different ethnic backgrounds who have different religious backgrounds to come and give a talk on their prayer or various religious aspects of their religion, and is a multi-faith church service where everyone can collectively come together and just take part and have faith and like basically engage in different persons' prayers. So it includes integration and also appreciation for different ethnic backgrounds. So that will be on Sunday from 10 to 12 p.m. There are different readings from different scriptures, different stories from different religious backgrounds. So it's part of international service as well. Next, on Monday, there will be a picture in competition by Instagram where persons will just, Rotaractors, this is an activity for them especially, to upload different acts of service or different images through the Instagram account to spread awareness of Rotaract. Next, on Wednesday, there'll be a ribbon sale. No, on Tuesday, I guess Tuesday is like the t-shirt day or the free day for us. On Wednesday, we'll have a ribbon sale for awareness of breast cancer. This is going to be done at the Guild, whereby collectively we're going to get together pink ribbons and fold them in the form of the ribbon for the breast cancer awareness, and we're going to sell this for $2 each at the Guild. So it's going to be sort of a fundraising event. Some proceedings will go to the Cancer Association. Then on Thursday, there'll be Cutest Pet competition, whereby persons can post pictures of their pet. Like, it's the time of the pandemic, and a lot of persons have different cute animals that they like to have as company, I guess, and also as friends. So this is another form of competition. And images can be posted on Instagram as well. Then on Friday, there'll be a collectively with a games night. Rotary assists us on this greatly. Actually, they assist with all of our events, but they allow us to have like different what's called popcorn machines, different games. Each students would come together and donate for the night, and basically we'll just have fun with each other, communicating and enjoying fun games night together. And on Saturday there'll be a mental health awareness campaign. This is gonna be via Zoom, but the time has not yet been specified. So the mental health awareness campaign is especially for everyone during this COVID-19 pandemic. Like, mental health has been a rising issue, and it's increasing among persons. So the mental health awareness campaign will help to sort of bring together people and try to give a sense of comfort within this pandemic. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, IPP Safir from the UV Cable Club. Up next, we have President Dana of the Rotaract Club of South Barbados to shed some light on the mental health seminar and the Go, Grow, Give, Connect campaign. Over to you, President Dana.
Hi, good morning, everyone, again, and good morning to those who wouldn't have joined the call as yet. They would have spoken earlier. So, a few of our upcoming activities on Saturday, the 10th of October, we will be having a mental health seminar. The location is still to be determined. After that, we are hoping to have either a pamper session for the members or care packages in pamper care packages. So that session is coming up on the 10th of October. And then our Global Give campaign is essentially scheduled to run the entire quarter. This is where we will be having seedlings donated from the New Horizon Plant Shop, and each of our members will be planting, starting a backyard project, and at the end of the project, the 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the produce selected by each member, we will be donating those. So that is all from South.
All right, thank you, President Dana. Up next, we have President Leo from the Rotaract Club of Barbados, who is sharing a few updates. Over to you, President Leo.
Good morning. I'm going to hand over to my secretary, who will present on this. Yes, thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Destiny Eastman, and I'm the secretary for the Rotaract Club of Barbados West. We actually have a pretty filled October since, as you could see in the calendar, we have an activity or an event for almost every single day. We actually started this week, and we are on the 3rd of October. Today, we will be posting our social media campaign for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We already posted our campaigns for Mental Health Day, World Mental Health Day, World Mental Health Week, and World Food Day. So for Mental Health Day, which will be recognized from the 4th to 10th of October, we will give a breakdown of different elements of mental health, like cyberbullying and so on. We actually plan to upload a few videos and interviews about cyberbullying, the maintenance of healthy relationships, and work life. We are also looking to tie mental health with breast cancer awareness by engaging with breast cancer survivors and the family of breast cancer survivors to give a few words or even just a short message on how breast cancer survivors and being around a breast cancer survivor can be a negative or even positive effect on your mental health. You may see things from a different light, or it may even, as I was talking about the mental impact, the negative impact, it may even cause you to be less focused, I guess, as it relates to a student at university dealing with having a mother that is going through such. So we will be touching on that. And for World Food Day, it's actually a day on October 15th or 16th, I believe, but we decided to turn it into an entire week since we recognize that we have a range of topics to touch on. And we also realized that it would be a way to engage in international service by reaching out to different clubs from our region and outside of the Caribbean to post recipes and do different food videos and even go on live on Instagram to basically cook with we, because that's the name of our that's the name of our initiative, Cook with We. So we would be inviting individuals to come on live and show and display different cultures, different foods, different historical backgrounds, and so on. And then we will be ending off the month by focusing on breast cancer awareness once again, even though it was slightly mentioned within World Mental Health Week. We will be placing all of our focus on breast cancer awareness from the 19th to the 31st. And our posts would be centered around the interviews with survivors and advice from some amazing doctors. And we are also planning to have a breast cancer screening hosted by our club within a central location, so that we can have a more physical or face-to-face activity that is outside of the virtual or our virtual campaign or our virtual initiatives. So yeah, that's basically us for the month of October, and we hope that everyone can engage with us. Just keep up with our posts on Instagram, keep liking, keep commenting and sharing. And I hope that everyone enjoys what we have in store. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Destiny. And last but certainly not least, I'll call on President Rashida of the Rotaract Club of Barbados to share two events that are coming up. President Rashida.
Good morning again, everyone. I am excited, can you tell? We are back again this year with our Cookies and Canvas. It's our initiative with the children at the Nightingale Children's Home and the Marina Booster Center at FARS. The children from FARS and Sterling are all in one location now. So 2 locations on the 17th of October. We're going to be painting with the kids and having some fun and fellowship with them. This is our second year, I believe, doing the initiative, and the kids are excited as we are excited to get out and interact with them for a fun day and our version of a paint and sip. Also on the 24th, we have Carving Your Digital Footprint. Our Pass the Mic series continues with Carving Your Digital Footprint, the key to personal branding. The topics are we're focusing on digital networking and digital marketing. So you can come on out, listen, hear our esteemed panel talk on these areas and help you to realize and carve out your footprint in this digital age. Thank you.
All right, thank you, President Rashid and all the clubs for your updates. Before we adjourn today's meeting, I'll open the floor for any district representation who would like to leave some comments before we go. So Mario, Anya, Kevan, floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. There's no update from me at this time.
Good morning, everyone. No update from me, but I would like to say excellent presentation. I missed the one from Rotarian.
Tamara.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Tamira, I hope you're doing great. Yes, but excellent presentation, and I do hope that they're both being done for more clubs in the district, so people could recognize all the promotion that we're doing for these projects.
Sure,
excellent
Anya,
presentation,
nice
guys.
to see you. Nice to see you, Anya. Yeah, sure. We did it for Trinidad last month, so yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very good.
And to the club presidents, good luck with the upcoming projects.
Thank you, IPDR Anya and Kevan.
Hey guys, yeah, it was a really great presentation. Kezra said he wants some credit. And yeah, it's really great to hear the projects that you guys have coming up. So I'm excited to see how everything comes out. So good stuff.
All right. Thank you, guys. So this is the part of the meeting where I ask you to turn on your camera and humor me for a bit while we try to pretend take a photo via Zoom. Everybody who's in their bed, brush off the hair and let's take this photo together. Okay. Just waiting for a few more persons to turn on their cameras. All right. So everybody ready? Grin. 1, 2, 3. Hold the grin. You have to take multiple photos because there are multiple pages. All right. Up next. 1, 2, 3. Hold the grin. All right. Thank you. You can turn off your camera if you want. But again, kudos to the Rotaract Clubs of Barbados for this amazing session. Look forward to more joint initiatives for the Rotary year 2020-2021. So everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe. It's a bit rainy. Stay safe, stay dry. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.